Alright, good afternoon everyone. My name is Cadet Gilroy. I am here in the newly renovated Cadet Gym. Today we're going to be going over some forms and techniques for the ACFT event. The first event we're going to go over is the deadlift because it is the first event in the ACFT. So some key things you want to keep in mind here is when you have a square stance, you don't want to be any wider than your shoulders. I mean, you can be a little bit wider, but you run into the front with the bar. So main things we want to talk about today is you're going to want to brace. When you lift, you're going to brace, so breathing, so you're going to take a deep breath in, and you're going to brace with your diaphragm here, right? So that's how you want to make sure you have stabilized core, and that'll keep you from hurting your back at all. And one thing you also want to keep in mind, or as a mental cue, is make sure you're lifting with your legs. You don't want to have a rounded back. Because when you round your back under tension, that's when it leads to herniated discs and other spinal injuries. So we're going to get started here. I've got some lighter weight on the bar, so just so I can focus on the form here. So first thing I think, step in the bar, make sure my feet are square, look straight ahead, make sure everything's square. I'm going to give the bar a little bit of a twist here. That way I can get my hands in that center part so I don't have any trouble when I go up to the higher weight with the bar slipping out of my hand. So grab the bar, get ready to lift, you're going to tighten your lats. So you're going to pull your shoulders back, almost like you're squishing an egg between the shoulder blades. You're going to tighten your lats, and then you're going to want to look straight, or even you could even look a little bit up ahead of you, and you're going to lift, just like that. Lower the weight slowly. One of the things on the ACFT is you don't want to slam the weight on the ground. You will be disqualified for that on the event in the ACFT if you slam the weight. So we'll go through a couple more reps. Breathing, make sure you're square, make sure you're not rotating your spine, and make sure you got a good grip, especially once you go up to the higher weights. I'm going to do 2 reps here. That is the deadlift. Alright, good afternoon everyone. Back here with Cadet Gilroy in the newly renovated Cadet Gym. We're going to go over the second event of the ACFT. This event is the ball throw. The keys with the ball throw are just getting technique, and it comes down to a lot of practice. You can get all that technique right, but ultimately that release point where you release the ball, whether you're throwing it too high or too flat, is really what it comes down to. And a couple things you can do to increase your explosive power to help you with this exercise is like squats, box jumps, jump rope. That'll help you get that explosiveness. But ultimately, if you practice throwing the ball a couple times, 2-3 days before the event, kind of get your release point down, that does wonders for your form and for your distance in this event. So one of the things that this event, key things that can disqualify you from this event are if you step on the line. So if you step on the line, that go does not count. For your first time, you get 2 times, and if you step on it again for your second time, then you get 0 for the event. So you don't want to step on the line. Some people start close to the line to maximize their distance. Say this seam in the 4 here is the line. Some people just stay right there and just don't move their legs and just throw the ball, right? But I personally, I like to take a large step in front. Because I'm right-handed and because of my baseball experience, I step back with my left, and I can kind of generate that power off my right leg, which I used to generate with during baseball season. However, you can choose how you want. Like I said, it comes down to practice, technique, finding what works for you. So just the basics here. I'm going to take a step forward just because I do. But what you're going to do is you're going to take a couple practice movements here. And then when you're ready to go, when you're ready to throw the ball, you're going to squat down, right? Just like you're getting into a squat. Squat in the barbell. You're going to squat, pull the ball in between your legs, and explode as fast as you can and throw it back, right? And then you just explode, right like that. Here's a side view. So squat down and explode. All right. down to technique, how it feels best for you, and just getting that release point down. Because you can throw it as hard as you can, but if you throw it in the dirt, it's not going to go very far. And if you throw it straight up in the air, it's not going to go very far. So that is the ball throw. Alright, Cadet Gilroy here again. Once again in the newly renovated cadet gym. The third event in the ACFT is the hand release push-up. So we're going to go over, we're going to give you a side view, and we're going to give you a direct view. Some key things with this is make sure you're maintaining that level, your body is maintaining a straight line, just like in the last test. It's very key because this one you're coming from a dead stop there. So it's easy to work it up like a worm. Also another key thing is there is no rest position other than the front leaning rest position for this event, so you can't do the extended flex, can't do the other variation of the extended flex. So make sure you're maintaining that front leaning rest position once you're at the top of the movement. You can, however, come down and you can take as long as you need to go all the way out, fully extended, and all the way in. So with that being said, the full movement is completely extending your arms all the way out 90 degrees, and then coming into your fingers have to be inside of your pectoral, your chest muscles there. So with that, we're going to get started. I'm going to give you a couple pointers. One pointer is, I know it might hurt at the time, but if you focus on putting your forehead in the dirt when you go down and when you go up, this will help keep your body in that straight line. As you can see, my face almost hits the ground before my chest does in this exercise. So with that, let's get started. You start on the ground, and as the training says go, you're going to push off straight, and you're going to lower, full extend, get your hands within your chest, and then push back up, down, and you're going to do that for as many reps as you can for 2 minutes. I'm going to give you a side view here. So you're going to start going lower position, full extend, go up, down, full extend, up, down, full extend. And that is the basics for the hand release push-ups. Alright, Cadet Gilroy here again. Still at Cadet Gym, right? The fourth event in the ACFT, which we're going to go over now, is the sprint track carry. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to start off in the push-up position, just like you were in the hand release push-ups. So you're going to be down like this, and then as soon as the instructor says go, you're going to push her off, and you're going to sprint. You're going to sprint down and back, touching the line, or going completely across the line. So if this is the line, you're going to be sprinting this way. Going to come over here, and I'm going to touch the line, and go back, and do the same thing. As you get back, you're going to get the sled. Now, one key thing here is when you set up your sled before you start the event, you're going to make sure you have the handles in the right spot, so that when you go to grab the handles after sprinting, it's a smooth transition and you don't waste time. And as soon as you grab the sled, you're going to want to, just like on the deadlift, you're going to brace your core, right? And take that breath and you kind of push against your diaphragm. This is going to help you generate more power out of your legs, just based off of efficiency. So when you brace your core there, it keeps your spine straight and it enables you to put more power or use your power from your legs more efficiently. So if you're doing like, you get your spine bent, this way, and rotated, you're not using all the power effectively, and thus it'll slow your time down. So you're going to drag the sled 90 pounds all the way down. You're going to make sure the sled crosses the line at the other end. And same thing when you get back to the starting line, you're going to make sure that sled gets across. I know of a couple people that had to redo the event because their sled did not get all the way across. After the sled drag, you're going to do laterals. Key thing here is you're not crossing your legs. That's a no-go for the event, so you cannot cross your legs like this. You want to make sure your heels touch, right? So you're sidestepping just like that if you're playing defensive basketball. One thing that I know that I found has helped me is if you rotate your leading foot 90 degrees facing that way, you can kind of scoot along a little easier. It opens up your hips a little bit, almost 90 degrees or 45-degree angle there to the direction you're going. So it'll help you go a little faster, and the same thing going the other way. If you open, you kind of hop, and then it's harder for you to cross your legs. So once you do your laterals, you're going to come back and you're going to do farmer's carries with 45-pound kettlebells. Key thing of this is just, same thing here is if you kind of brush your core, it'll help you stabilize a little better. But ultimately, practice that, do farmer's carries in the gym, run, just being ready for it is going to be the key thing with those farmer's carries. And then once you get back with those, you're going to do another sprint down and back, and then you're done with the event. That is the sprint track here. Alright, Cadet Gilroy here again. The next event in the ACFT is the leg tuck. So this one you're going to do as many leg tucks as you can in a row. A couple key things is you have to go all the way to a dead hang, so your elbows are completely extended. After every attempt to pull yourself up, you're going to make sure your elbows touch your knees. They don't have to touch your knee bone per se or the joint, but at least touch your legs. So you're at least touching like your quads here. But yeah, so a couple points there. But yeah, these, to prepare for these, you want to do a lot of ab exercises. Really just practicing your leg tucks, practicing pull-ups, really does a whole lot for you. And for the actual execution of the event, when you go to pull up from your dead hang, you only have to bend your elbows. So they don't have to be a complete 90 degree, there just has to be slight bend in them. So there's no specific degree that they have to meet. You just have to make sure you bend them. So you could solely just rotate the bottom half of your body if that's kind of the core strength you have. But if you want, you could also almost pull yourself up completely and just touch your knees to your elbows there. But you gotta make sure you get the contact there. So I'm going to demonstrate a couple different methods for you. So we're going to hop up here, make sure we're in dead hang. And you can't use your momentum with these, so that's one thing you have to be careful for. So if you do this like that and just rotate like that, or you could pull yourself up and do that. Whichever way works best for you is how I would recommend doing it. But key thing here is just making sure you're training before doing these leg tucks. Alright, and last but not least, in the ACFT, the final event is the 2-mile run. Basically some tips to prepare for that. Run distance before, you should be running 4 or 5 miles a week with the ATR. If you're not doing that, at least do 2 miles a week. Make sure you're eating well. Biggest thing is stay hydrated. Drink at least a gallon of water the day before the ACFT. That'll help you tremendously. Staying hydrated does a lot for you. With that, let's go on the run. Cadet Gilroy here. I wanted to give a special shout out to all the cadets that helped put together the new cadet gym, especially Cadet Mills. He did a great job organizing all the new benches, organizing the weights here, clearing the space out, making it look nice. All the work he did expanding it. So we have, if you all didn't know, we now have an expanded cadet gym. So this door is open now. We have a rowing machine, a bike there. During the day, it's got a nice window out there. And we got a cable machine. Got another bench there too. Cable machine with all the different attachments to it. And still in the process is a deadlift platform. But we have new benches. And then here's the dumbbell rack. So as soon as you guys can, get into the cadet gym because it's only going to help you with that ACFT. A lot of the ACFT is to do with strength now. It's a lot harder to just run around and do a bunch of push-ups, do a bunch of sit-ups. Now we have to actually push some weight around. So, and we have this brand new cadet gym renovated. So yeah, get in here, get better, sorry.